14, where we're asked to rotate this figure 270 degrees. It doesn't give us enough space, so what I did was I just redrew it over here. Now keep in mind when we talk about 270 degrees, if it doesn't specify, by default, that rotation should be happening in a counterclockwise fashion. Okay, so we would be coming over here to go from the third coordinate to the fourth. That would be 90 degrees. 180 degrees would bring us up here. 270 degrees would bring us up here. Okay, so our final prime image should end up here in the second quadrant. How in the world are we going to rotate 270 degrees? This one wouldn't be terrible if you were trying to just figure out how far they are away from the x-axis or y-axis. But remember, we have certain rules about rotations that are either 90 or 180 or 270 degrees. We can look at the coordinates and use that rule to come up with a new prime coordinates. So what I've done over here is I've listed out these four coordinates of the vertices of this quadrilateral, this shape. And what we want to do is to be able to change those into the new prime coordinates, Q prime, R prime, S prime, and T prime, using a rule. And so we'll come up with new x and y values for each one of those. Well, the rule for a 270 degree angle is to take whatever the original xy coordinate is, and we flip it around so that the y comes first and the x comes second, and we make that x negative. So whatever xy is, it becomes y negative x. That's the rule specifically for a 270 degree rotation. The rules are different for a 90 degree or for a 180 degree rotation, so make sure you've got those straight. And so let's use that rule to come up with these new prime coordinates. If I would switch these around, the -3 would come first, the -6 would come second, but we're going to change the sign on it. So instead of negative, it stays positive. R, if we flip them around, the 0 comes first, the -5 comes second, but it becomes positive. S prime, the 0 comes first, the -3 comes second, but it becomes positive. And T prime, the -3 comes first, the -1 comes second, and it becomes positive. So those should be the coordinates of my new prime image. Let's plot them now, and again, they should end up here in the second quadrant because it was a 270 degree rotation. -3, 6. That's my first point, and that was Q prime. 0, 5. 0, 5 ends up right there. That is R prime. 0, 3 is S prime. And -3, 1 is T prime. When I connect those, there is my new figure. It looks congruent to the original one. It's as if we were taking just everything that we see in this quadrant and turning it sideways again until we finally get back up here.